Hey, hey, hey! Sonja here from Success Fitness, and we are here today at Royal Roads University Recreation Center with Patti and Terry. Hello. Say hi. Hi. All right, so we're going to do a full body conditioning class today with bands. So if you have one that has no handles, which is a physio band, or Terry will be demonstrating with a band with handles, and we got Patti demonstrating with some dumbbells, or again your alternative, which would be water bottles filled with water, sand, rocks, whatever you can find. So we're going to start with a warm-up, so make sure you have your water ready, make sure you have your tools ready. Are you guys ready? Yep, so ready. We're so ready. All right, we're going to start alternating with those knees up, and we're going to alternate reaching those arms. So I'm going to purposely do things, funny, and then you guys can go, what happened? Reaching it up nice and tall. Nice deep breathing. Right, so the whole point here is that we're warming up the core, warming up those hip flexors. Nice and controlled. Keep going. Keep going. Is it going to march? Come on, speed it up. Let's go. Right, so low impact. We're right here. A little bit higher impact. We can start adding a little bit more of this little mini hop. But because it's a warm-up, we don't want to go too aggressive into this. Let's do 10 more seconds here. Have we warmed up? 4, 3, 2, and hold. We're going to go into a semi-squat. So I don't want you to go super, super low, but just enough that you feel your quads and your glutes engaging. You're going to reach those arms forward. It's like you're trying to pull and grab a rope. And when you're doing this, we want to use that upper body, right? So your upper body strength plus your lower body strength. There's no right or wrong here per se. So make sure that you're using those back muscles as you're pulling. So imagine a weight in front of you and you're trying to pull it towards you. Yeah? All right, yeah. You got this. Keep going. See, I finally have people in my class. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. We're going to take those arms laterally out to the side. We're going to kick one leg up, and as we're kicking it up, we're going to gently rotate towards that front leg. What I want you to be careful of, it's not a full-on twist through the spine. It's a nice little rotation, but using your core on the lift and reaching it gently over. If that's too hard, just bend the knee, right? Bending it through or straightening that leg. Keep going and lift and lift. Good job. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's do a nice little light little jog. Shake those arms. Flop them around a little bit.
It's like my first class in the 80s.
Let's have some fun. All right, we're going to jog it out and in. Out and in. Low impact. We're right here, right? So take it at your level that you feel comfortable in. Now, when we're doing this out and in stuff, usually we have this one leg that likes to lead. And so what we're going to do is we're going to switch that lead leg on 4, 3, 2. Let's hold it in the center. We're going to go out and in, leading with the opposite leg. Good work. All that oxygen in. Nice deep breath. In and out. So if you're doing this at home, which you are, make sure you crank your music. Right? Music is good. It's motivating. We're motivating. But music helps too. On top of all that motivation. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 more, 2 more, last one, and hold it right here. Give yourself a nice deep breath in, exhaling it out, and again, inhale, reaching it tall, exhaling it out. Let's roll the shoulders out, nice big rotations. Let's have some water, and we're going to jump right into our first set of 4 exercises. So Terry's going to have the band, I'm going to have the TheraBand, and and Patty's gonna have the dumbbells. Anytime you need a little breather, just put us on pause, right? That's why we have a pause button. In class, you don't get to do that. I was gonna say, can't we do that? Yeah, we can do that here. We can pause. All right, so we're gonna be stepping on your band. The key here is that your back stays nice and flat, but we're gonna hinge forward into it. We want some resistance, and because it's a combination of two different exercises, we don't want it so hard that we can't pull those arms back. So basically what it's gonna look like, you're gonna roll it up, you're gonna pull it back, coming back to the bend, and releasing it. What we don't want is a shrug, okay? So stick the bum out with dumbbells. Patty's gonna demonstrate that. Ready, set, and go. So we're gonna roll, kick, and extend. Roll, kick it back, and extend. Roll, kick it back, and extend. Make sure your back stays nice and flat. So really sticking the bum and chest out. And extend. Keep going. We're gonna do this for one nice full minute. And back. And again. So sticking the bum out, sticking the chest out. So when we're doing this with dumbbells, we want to make sure that when we're kicking it back, your hands go into a neutral position. We don't want to pull on the wrists. Right? We don't want to do the flick of the wrist.
Am I kicking?
Yeah, I'm flicking. So when you're doing it, you're just going to go from here to here and back down, right? So when you're, right, versus this, right? Keep going. There we go, right? So it's a little easier on the wrist. And again down, keep going for 3, 2, 1, and release. Right, and it's not so much that it would be a problem, but for some people,
I don't even feel that I'm doing it.
I know. Most people don't. Like if you look and that flick, people don't realize that. Okay, we're gonna stand still on the band. This time, Patty's gonna keep the dumbbells beside her hips. Terry and I, we can get those bands right up to our shoulders. Get your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're gonna squat back into it, pressing it up. Ready, set, and go. Down and lift. Down and lift. So when we're doing the squat, we want to make sure that your knees don't go past your toes. Right? So you always should be able to wiggle your toes in your shoes. If you can't, sometimes you've got to find a different stance. So possibly wider versus more narrow. Right? And if we have a tight back, usually sometimes it can look like this. Right? But what we want is sitting in that chair, lifting it up. Sitting in that chair, lifting it back out of it. Stay in your heels and press. Nice work. I was doing 2 more buttons. 20 more seconds. Keep going, pressing into it. Down we go, right? And so if you have a tighter lower back, you're going to find that your squat may not have that same range of motion. 10 more seconds. Keep going. Down and press. Good. Looking just in front of you. Keeping that chest lifted. In 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. We're going to keep your foot on your band on one foot, but we're going to have it behind you. So we're going to stagger our feet. Patty's just going to keep her dumbbells right by her shoulders, and we're going to have our arms at a 90-degree angle. And then all we're going to do here is just sort of soften those knees, and we're going to press the band straight up or your dumbbells, and then releasing it down into that 90-degree angle. So what we don't want is to go up and turning things around. So really trying to stay above those shoulders and release. Ready? And go. Lift and release. Lift and release. Lift and release. So by staggering our feet, it's hard.
A little hard.
Yeah. That's right, just a band. By staggering our feet, we're supporting our lower back a little bit more. And the truth is, if you have a band and you only have a choice of one that you have at home, could you drop the band at any point and then just doing it without weights? Absolutely. Right? 30 more seconds. It'll just get just as hard. So that's the beauty about having multiple choices in either using lighter, heavier, different tools for different exercises. Keep going. 15 more seconds. You ladies look fantastic. And push. 10 more seconds. Good. Lifting it up and down. You got this. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and time. Shake it out. We're going to have a seat on the mat. And all we're going to do, I would let you use my band, but
That's okay.
it's not sanitized. We're gonna lean back, shoulders down and back. You can keep our feet down, hands just gonna go in front of us. If we want, we can use a dumbbell with this. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna go hip to hip. And when I say hip to hip, we do only wanna go hip to hip. I don't want you to go all the way down to the floor at this point. But if you are more advanced and you're used to this exercise, then definitely take it right down. But for the general population, no need for that. If you wanna make this a little bit harder, feet go up off the ground, right? If you wanna make it harder, grab some sort of resistance and go hip to hip from here, right? And again, what we want is watch that back, right? So we want to keep the chest lifted. We don't want to be rounding into it. And if it bothers your lower back, make sure that you come up a little bit higher, right? And it's supporting your back that way. You got this. 20 more seconds. Keep going. Side to side, hip to hip, and push. Breathing in and out. Don't hold your breath here. Keep going. 10 more seconds. Go, 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 go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. So low back sometimes from this one can get kind of sensitive. So even just giving yourself a couple rotations. And that was round 1. We got round 2 to do. Up we go. How are we doing, ladies? Warmed up?
Good.
Okay. Row with the kickback. Okay, so again, we can do it with the dumbbells, with the band. Having both feet on the band will make it a little bit harder. One band, one foot on the band makes it a little bit easier, right? So find out resistance. Ready, set, row, kick it back. Now we know them, right? Row, kick it back. And again, row, kick it back. Stick your bum out. Make sure your back stays nice and flat. And kick it back. And kick it back. Good. So your palms stay in that neutral position. So it's not a bicep curl. So it's just here, palms facing each other. Up, row. And then kick it back. And back down. And again, row, kick it back. And back down. Good job. 30 seconds. Right, so when we're rolling it up, make sure that you squeeze from the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades, squeeze, hold it, squeeze it back, and release. Working all those muscles. Keep it going. Don't stop. 15 more seconds. Should get harder. Right, so also what we're working here is your lower back stability. So lower back can get quite tiring on this one. Right, so making sure that we have a weight in our hip, not only in that lower back. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and time. We're going to keep standing on the band. Patty's going to have the dumbbells beside her hips. We're going to go into squats. So from here, we're going to have the band right by your shoulders, holding them, squatting it down and back, ready, and go. Squat and lift. Squat and lift. Good. Down and lift. All right, what are we watching for?
Straight back.
Straight back. What else?
Weight in her heels.
There you go. Wiggle those toes.
Toes.
Wiggle those toes. There's a quiz after this. Just want to make sure they're listening. And push. Keep your chest lifted. Come on, press through the heels. Woo! And push. Good. Nice and controlled. Inhale, exhale out. The muscles that we're using here, glutes and quads and hamstrings. Your core is part of the equation. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. One foot stays on the band. Staggering it forward from here. Arms at that 90-degree angle. Softening those knees a little bit. Pressing it up and down. Ready? And go. Up we go. 90-degree angle. Now, if I drop my elbows all the way down, it's easy and then hard, right? So what we don't want is that full-on easy pause. So we're gonna go up, just the elbows just below your shoulders and back up. So there's not a full-on rest because we don't know what that word means. No such thing as rest.
We have Sonja leading us.
That's right. I know how to spell it. And push. Keep going.
Just going up.
I know, right? So just without the resistance becomes as hard, just as hard. Especially after 30 seconds, you're going to find that your shoulders fatigue. And push. Good. 15 more seconds. Lifting it up and release. Lifting it up and release. Keep going. We got 10 more seconds. And press. Good. Keep your core nice and tight. Exhaling on the way up in 4, 3, 2, and time. We're gonna have a seat. Back to the twisties. Pulling that belly button in, leaning slightly back. Feet can come right off the ground. I'm gonna grab those hands, and we're just gonna go hip to hip, or feet down, ready, and go. Hip to hip. There you go, Terry. Come on. Or you can even just hold it on the ends. All right, there we go. Hip to hip. So sometimes in this position, right, like the further I go back, the harder I'm going to make it on my lower back. And if I come a little higher, I can still work my core at giving that lower back a little bit of a break. Right, don't forget to breathe. I don't hear you breathing. Go, 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 come on. 15 more seconds. Oh, I should have put like protein powder in there or something. I could shake it right out.
There you go. Post-workout.
Post-workout, right here. 4, 3, 2, and time. Woo! All right, let's have some water. We're going to switch up these exercises because, you know, we don't want to get bored. And if you at home would like to work harder and make these classes longer, then you could totally do 3 sets, right? So you can put it on pause, do another set, and then jump back in. Sure, that's what I do at home. What? Okay, we're gonna do lateral raises. So Patti is gonna grab 1 dumbbell, and Terry and I are gonna have the 1 band, and we're gonna step on it with 1 foot, okay? And we're gonna work if you're having the band under your right foot, it's going to be your left arm doing the work. So knees slightly bent again, and we're going to go just laterally to the shoulder and then releasing it down, okay? And Patti is just going to do it with just the lateral extension of the dumbbell. Ready, and go. So we're going to go out and release. Out and release. What we don't want is locking of the elbow, right? We want to keep that slight little bend. And I always say, like, think about your hand is like you're trying to pour something out. So at the top, give it a little tiny, it's not a big rotation, but it's a small one, because what we don't want is doing the opposite this way, right? So we do want that small little rotation. Up we go and release. And again, by staggering our feet a little bit, we're just supporting that lower back better, right? Because if I'm standing here, I can easily just lock out my back, right? So this way, it kind of gives us the idea of keeping everything a little bit softer. Keep going. 10 more seconds. Oh, your shoulders are going to feel this. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Let's switch it over. Now, when we do this with bands, just try to get the equal amount of weight as much as you can. Softening those knees. Ready, and go. Lifting it up and release. Lifting it up and release. So again, we want to be about shoulder, a little bit past it, right? We don't want to be yanking it way up there, right? So gentle on that rotator and down. Squeezing it up and back down. So keeping it super controlled. Inhale, exhale out, and press. Whew, good work. Exhale out, squeezing it up. Right, and in certain bands, like what you're noticing now, right? It's a long band, and it has that weird resistance where it's not constant. And that's the beauty about dumbbells, right? So sometimes there's certain exercises where you may try it with a water bottle or dumbbell, and then you might go back to the band and kind of go, prefer doing it with another tool, right? Keep going for 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. We're going to still stand on the band with 1 foot. We're going to do bicep curls with a reverse lunge. So again, with me, because I don't have handles, I can sort of wrap them around once. And then what we're going to do is we're going to step it back into a reverse lunge, bicep curl, and release. Patty's going to do that with her dumbbells. Shoulders down and back. Ready, set, and go. So bicep curl and back down. Bicep curl and back down. Right, and again, depending on what kind of band you have. So my band, a little bit more awkward, trying to hang on to it, right? When we're stepping back, we want to make sure that your front legs, heel is still taking the weight, not your back knee, and push. Good, down we go, and press. Down we go, and push. Where Terry has these nice handles with the band, and she is able to really have her palms turning towards your shoulders, and push. Good, make sure that we're breathing. Whoo. Okay, more. And again, 20 more seconds on this side. 20, yeah.
I thought we were doing 30%. side.
No. I can't read my notes. 10 more seconds. Bending that back leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. Oh, biceps are gonna work for 2 minutes. All right, ready? And go. Curl and bend. Now, if you have knee type injuries, sensitivities, just be careful not to go too low, right? Mirrors are kind of great because you can really take a look. So if you have a bathroom mirror or a long mirror that you can stand up, kind of doing your exercises that you can see your form and technique, because sometimes we think we look a certain way, and then we look in the mirror and like, oh, maybe my back is rounded, right? Keep going, 20 more seconds. Bending that back leg, keep your chest lifted. Woo. And push. 10 more seconds. We got this. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. Shake those arms out. Good work. Okay, so Terry and I have bands, and Patti doesn't. What? So Patti's going to do this without any resistance. We're going to have our arms straight up. What I do want is some resistance between those two hands. Again, we're going to soften up those knees a little bit here. Your band should be just in front of your head. We don't want it right above. And all we're going to do is we're going to lead with the elbows, using that resistance, and we're going to pull it down and slightly back into a lat pull down and extend. Ready? Down we go and extend. Down we go and extend. Pulling it back and extend. That's it. So try not to lock those knees out, softening them right up, and pull. Good. Exhale out, squeezing it down and back. So really trying to lead with your elbows as we're pulling this. Let's do 30 more seconds. And pull. Good. So if we're doing them without any resistance, if you really focus on your back, right, you can start feeling it in your shoulders and back by just simply focusing on those muscles. Let's do one more. We're going to stay up here. We're going to alternate. So we're going to take one arm down and up. How's it going there, Terry? Down and up. Down and up. So the positioning really doesn't change, right? The only difference I'm making is I'm pulling one elbow, and then the other elbow as one is supporting. So it's like doing a little bow and arrow. Down and pull. Down and pull. See, bow and arrow. You see it? I see the bow and arrow.
I see it.
Up, down we go. Come on, last 5. 4.
Lord of the Rings.
3. 2 more. Last one. And release. Woo. Right? So even no resistance, we can feel those shoulders working. Both feet on top of the band. Patti's going to have both of her dumbbells in front of her hips for deadlifts. Terry and I are going to take our band in front of our chest. Feet can go a little tiny bit wider, but we don't want them out wide like a squat, okay? Shoulders down and back. We're going to hinge from the hips. We're going to use that resistance, so hold it here, now press into the heels. Squeeze your bum. Down we go. Squeeze those glutes. Right, so every time we come up, I want you to squeeze from the glutes, not from your lower back. So I'm going to maintain my resistance hanging on to these bands. Down we go, feel the stretch, and pressing up. Now if you have lower back weaknesses, definitely bend your knees more here, right? So we're using and utilizing those legs a little bit more and giving that lower back a little bit more help, okay? Exhale out, squeeze. If you have the flexibility and the strength, you can keep that lower back straight, your legs straight, right? And just hinging forward and back up like a good morning or deadlift and push. Last 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. Let's grab some water. We're going to do one more round of this.
Who are you talking to?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's her. All right. We are going to go right back into the first one we did there, lateral raises. So 1 foot stance on the band, and Patti has 1 dumbbell. 30 seconds per side, I promise. All right, shoulders down and back, ready, and go. Lifting it up shoulder level and back down. So again, notice how set my hand is this way. I want it this way, so when I'm lifting, I'm almost pouring something out of my hand, right? And pull. Good. And pull. If that's too easy, make the band tighter. If it's too hard, make it a little bit looser, right? Want to work that top of that shoulder, that medial deltoid. Pressing it up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switching it over. Other side. Shoulders down and back. Softening those knees. Ready, set, and go. Lifting it up and down. Lifting it up and down. So don't rotate the dumbbell too much. Just a tiny bit. And lift. There we go. And lift. Good. Inhale, exhale. You know what the problem is with time? Is that I start the exercise and I start talking, and then I forget where we started. And then I just add 30 seconds because it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's like, to you.
Yeah. It's like, I swear this has been 30 seconds. Good. Lifting it up, breathing out at the top. Always on exertion. Core is nice and tight. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Reverse lunges, bicep curl. One foot still stands on the band. All right, we're gonna do the curl with the reverse lunge. Ready, and go. Curl and lunge, 30 seconds per side. Let's go. So pick it up a little bit in pace if you can, but if it's too hard, right, balance-wise or with the technique, just slow it down and push. So a lot of these exercises too encourage the balance. Good. Inhale, exhale out, pressing it up. Pressing it up. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Switching it. Other leg. Ready, set, and go. Down and lift. Good. Curling those arms to the shoulders. Working those biceps. And press. Good. I think I just get distracted when people are in my class. Maybe that's the thing. I just have too much fun and then I forget what's going on. Keep going.
Focus, mother.
4, 3, 2, and time. Good. Lat pull downs. Grab your band above the head, softening those knees. A little bit of tension on the band, slightly in front of your head. Lat release. Ready, and go. 30 seconds, both arms. So when we get to the top, what we don't want is this, right? We want to keep the tension the whole time on that band. If you don't have any resistance, just follow Patti and really try to squeeze the shoulder blades down and up. Pretend you have resistance. Think about the muscles that we're trying to work there, right? Pressing it through. 10 more seconds, and then we're going to alternate right, left. Keep those knees soft so we're not bothering that lower back. One more. Let's hold it up. Alternate. Right and left. Or left and right. And pull. Good. Try to lead with your elbow, not your hand. So what we don't want is this, right? We're going to pull the elbow back. Pull the elbow back. Get into that lat. And pull. And pull. And pull. Good. Squeezing into it. For 4, 3, 2, and time, and release. Whew. All right, deadlift. Stepping on the band or grabbing your dumbbells, holding them in front of your hips. If you have the band, lifting it right up to your chest. Put all your weight in your heels, shoulders down and back. Ready? Hinging forward, and lift. Squeeze your bum. Hinging, squeeze your bum. So keep your there we go. Handles right by your chest, perfect. And down. Hinging it forward and down. So think about it not being so much a squat, then it is a hinge from the hips, and you're trying to get your glute and hamstrings to pull yourself back into that standing position. If you have a mirror, again, make sure that you look in there and see if your back is nice and flat, right? And sort of rounding it. right? So nice and flat and pressing it up. Exhale, lift. Good, keep going. 20 more seconds, we got this. Press it up and squeeze it. So close. 10 more seconds. We're gonna feel this tomorrow. Yes?
Yes.
Go, go, go. Last 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. Shake it out, grab some water. We are going to switch this up. We're going to take it down to the mat. Okay. We are 30 minutes in. We got this. All right, so push-ups. So the thing is with push-ups, we can do it with resistance around your back, right? So we can make this a lot harder, like that. So when you're doing your push-ups, you have that extra resistance. Or if wrists bother you, Patti's going to do it with chest presses. So she's just going to stay here, and she's just going to do chest presses with her dumbbells. Right? So if you have wrist problems and push-ups are a real issue for you, always go back to the chest presses with water bottles, dumbbells, whatever you have available. All right. Band?
With wrists.
No band? Okay. Okay. Band around the upper back. Ready? 1 minute. Set. And go. Down and press. So every time you press up, we have that resistance of the band. So down and lift. Down and lift. And it's all different levels of push-ups, right? Like being more square, right? Versus being a little bit more back. The thing is when you're on your knees, make sure you're pulling your feet closer to your bum, and then you're not right on your knee joint. Okay? So actually a little bit above that knee joint, more into that quad, supporting you. If you can, come right up on your toes, doing the push-up from here, plus the resistance. And press. Good work. 15 more seconds. Pushing it through. Keep the core nice and tight. No matter what exercise we do, right? Always keep that core tight. 10 more seconds. We're almost there. Looking good. And press. Good job. Exhale out and squeeze. Last 4, 3, 2, and release. We're going to come over onto your back, and Patti's already there. She can lay her dumbbells right on her hips. We're going to do some bridges, or we can grab the band, holding onto it, so when you're bridging it up, you have that extra resistance from the band. What we want is make sure that your knees and hips are aligned, your feet are nice and close to your bum. Dumbbells or bands go across the hip. Ready, set, and go. Lifting it up, squeeze your glutes, and back down. Lifting it up, squeeze your glutes, and back down. Up and down. Let's speed it up a little bit. Up and down. Up and down. So we're just literally just hovering just above the floor and then coming right back up. Exhale, lift, and release. Exhale, lift, and release. Exhale, lift, and release. So if this were to be bothering your lower back, you may be lifting too high. Okay? So the biggest thing with the bridge is that it works the glutes, a little bit of the lower back, your hamstrings. If you feel it mostly in your back, you might be forcing it too much, right? So it all depends on individually on your body. Press the weight a little bit more into the heels, squeezing those glutes. If the band is too much, we don't need any weight. And lifting it up and down from here. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. We're going to hold it right here. You can grab a band or a dumbbell, keeping it nice and narrow. Right? So the band really is not doing anything other than keeping your arms at that nice little extension. If your feet are too close on this one, you're not going to be coming up into a sit-up. It's going to be too hard. So feet go a little bit further away from you. Pelvic pulls in. So belly button pulls right into your spine. And then all we're going to do is you're going to come up into a sit-up. As you're coming up, you're going to rotate to one side and then releasing it back down. So Patti has her dumbbell, and she can do that as well. Rotating through and releasing it down. Good job. And again up. So if we can't get all the way up, all we're going to do is we're going to come to a certain point, rotate slightly, and back down. Coming to that small crunch, and that rotation is very small again, kind of like that Russian twist earlier. We don't want to be twisting to the ground. It's just a small squeeze to the oblique. There we go, and back down. So again, we just see all different levels, right? And so that's why it's so important to modify each exercise to your own personal need, right? To wherever your strength is, your flexibility is. Keep going. Up we go, rotating you down. And push. Good work. Nice deep breathing for 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. We're going to turn it around. We're going to go on the elbows. We're going to do an elbow plank into a pike. So tucking your toes under, we got to figure out where our position needs to be to go from here to here. So slightly back, right? So when we're lifting it, we want to think about pressing the weight in your heels, head going as far through the arms as you can, and then coming back down to the plank. If that's too hard, just drop to the knees and hold it there. Okay? Ready, set. 1 minute, and go. Lifting it into that pike, and back down into the plank. Lifting it into your pike, and back down into that pike. Good. And again, pike, right? And at any point, you can always take a breather, right? So taking a pause when you need to. And again, up we go, and down we go. Awesome. Up we go, and down we go. Every time we go down into that plank, making sure that we have a nice little flat back, not a rounded back. Keep going and press into the plank. Keep that belly button pulled in, lifting it through, and back down. We're almost there. Hang in there. Keep going. Keep going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Woo! Good work. Right back to push-ups or chest presses. I hope this is black and white. Black, white, and red. Black, white, and red. No, push-ups. Okay, so push-ups, chest presses with Patti, with resistance, without resistance, on your knees, on your toes. So many options. There's no excuse. Ready, set, and go. Come on, push-ups. You know what to do this time. 1 minute. Let's do this. And press. And press. And press. Push it up. Nice and controlled. Woo. Come on, squeezing from the chest. Do what you can. Another way of altering a push-up is, if you have weaker wrists, is to put the dumbbells underneath your hands, right? To keep the wrists in a more neutral position. That would be another option. 30 more seconds. Good, do the best you can. Come on. Elbows bent. Pressing it from the chest. If you only feel this in your arms, you're not focusing on that chest enough. And push. 15 seconds. Mind over matter, Terry. Come on. Get that belly button in. Squeeze it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Coming back on the back. Pat's already there. We're going to bridge it up and down. Dumbbells on your hips or no resistance at all. Walk your feet a little bit closer towards your butt. Hands go right by your hips. Ready? Up and down we go. And go. 1, 2. I don't need to count. I got the timer. Apparently I don't know how to use either. See, sometimes it's better to count, and you guys can count. And lift. Good. Squeeze the bum. Maybe next class I'll get you guys to count every time. 3.
You know, this can be really quick.
What did you go to there? And squeeze. Good job. Come on. 30 seconds. So we're going a little bit more pace. Keep your heels on the floor. You're going to start feeling those hips and glutes working a little bit more, right? Lifting it up and down. You feeling your bum?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Buns of steel. Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
I have them all. I love her. She was amazing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. From the bridges, we're going to crunch and twist. Arms extended. Walking those feet a little bit out, especially if you're going to come all the way up to a seated position. Ready, sit, and go. Up we go, rotate, and back down. Up we go, rotate, and back down, right? So again, do the best you can. And back down. Exhale, lift, and back down. Level down from that, just slight little rotation, right? Don't force it, especially if you have a weaker lower back and dealing with some injuries or rehab and can't get in with your physio massage therapist right now. We gotta do self-care. So maybe a foam roller, maybe a little bit more stretching, right? Stuff like that. Doing my yoga class.
I was just gonna say, an extra quarter class.
Yeah. Good job, lifting it up. So for some people, the neck might be a problem here too. So hands behind your ears would be another solution, right? Just so you can still go rotate. 4, 3, 2, and time. Good. Turning it over, elbow plank pike, 1 minute, and then we're gonna stretch. Yay! Patti, I mean, Terry, are you still with us? I'm still with us. Just wondering. Ready, set, and go. Up we go, pike, plank, pike, plank, pike. See, that's why I like teaching classes with people in it. I get to pick on people.
You're much easier when I'm by myself.
Yes, it was. She's talking about the problems out there, isn't it?
I'm not close enough.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Go, 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 go. Squeeze into it. Right? So coming just low enough that you feel like it's sort of level with your shoulders and ankles. Good. And again, up and down we go. So close. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Good job. We're going to sit back on those heels, arms extended, give yourself a nice little child's pose. So try to reach those arms away from you, try to get them as straight as you can. If you can't sit right down on your heels, that's totally fine. Right? Sometimes even rolling up a towel behind his knees will work. Breathing into it. We're going to come right up on all fours, hands stay underneath your shoulders. We're going to pull that belly button in and we're going to go into a cat, rounding it up. So when we're going into that cat, shift your weight a little bit more towards your heels. And then arching that lower back, shifting it slightly into your arms. And again, exhale, rounding it up. Inhale, releasing it. 2 more. Exhale, rounding it up. Inhale, releasing it. 1 more. And releasing it. Good. We're going to have a seat. We're going to have one leg bent forward, depending on your knees, and one leg back. So we kind of stagger. It's called a 90-90 stretch. And all I want you to do is you're going to rotate slightly towards that front leg's knee. And we're just going to come down into it a little bit. Right? So if you are more flexible in this and have healthier knees, you could technically go from here into a pigeon pose. Right?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to be nice. Leaning into it. And release. Switching it over to the other side. 90-90 stretch, holding it right here. Rotate your body slightly. Leaning into that leg, just stretching through the hip. Right? And again, if you need a deeper stretch in that, back leg extends. And then going right into that pigeon pose. Sometimes you gotta play with these stretches a little bit. No right or wrong, just what feels good to you. And release. I'm gonna take the bottoms of your feet together, sliding them in, grabbing your toes, dropping those knees, shoulders down and back. Good job. And then crossing those legs. And all I'm going to do is a nice little rotation, looking over your shoulders. And of course, every time of these classes, I always suggest doing a lot more stretching afterwards, right? Spend an extra 5 minutes when we're gone. You can do a little bit more stretches. And then over to the other side, rotating into it. So what motivates you to exercise, Terry?
My mental well-being.
Good, good, awesome. What about you, Patti?
Pretty much food.
Food. Yeah. There you go. Why not, right? Give yourself a nice deep breath, reaching it up. Exhaling it out.
What about you?
Same, mental health. No, I don't really exercise for food. I do like to eat though. And over to the other side.
I think it just becomes such a normal, like it's just every day that you exercise,
Yeah,
you know?
making it a habit.
Yeah.
Rolling the shoulders out. We're gonna hold it right here, ear to shoulder. Stretching through the neck. Right, it's good to have some sort of motivation on why we're doing this, and sometimes it's tough to get started, right? Like that first 5 minutes is like, I don't really want to do this, but then after you've done your exercises, whatever that is, you feel great, you feel much better, and you feel accomplished, and it's empowering, right?
You just feel so much better than a day without exercise.
Totally. Okay, I'm gonna slowly come back up, be careful, not come up too quickly so we don't get dizzy. Slowly coming up, give yourself a nice deep breath, reaching it tall. Exhaling it out. One more time, reaching it nice and tall. And exhale, releasing it. We're gonna roll our shoulders out. One more time, shake it out, and you've done it. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Patti. Thanks for our Roads Recreation Center. You're welcome.
That was fun.
And yeah, it was fun. And we will see you soon.